Hi, I'm Bruno Aziza, and today I am sitting down with Bob McKinnon, who is a group executive at Westpac. Westpac is a large bank in Australia. Thank you very much for your time, Bob.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
So, we know a little bit about Westpac, but would you like to tell us a little bit about what the company is about and, more importantly, what your strategy is for information management?
Yeah, sure. Well, Westpac is Australia's oldest bank. In fact, it's Australia's oldest company, and in 2017 we'll turn 200 years old. So we're looking forward to that anniversary, and around that we're planning a really significant transformation of the bank. In 2008 we merged with St George, which is another large bank in Australia. It was the 5th largest bank in Australia, and we now sit as one of the biggest banks in Australia, number 2, and roughly number 15th largest bank in the world on market capitalisation. So we've become a significant organisation.
And so what's your approach to information management? How do you think about it, and how does this develop a competitive advantage for you?
Information management for us is really important. I mean, our whole business strategy is around customer centricity. And so for us, trying to run both a customer-centric bank and also a multi-brand bank, because we're now running 3 different banks under within the group. For us, we have some really interesting challenges around information management. Within each brand, we need to know our customers. We need to be able to serve those customers, and the best way to do that is to make sure there's a single source of the truth around the information that we have available at the front line or on any channel, actually, whenever the customer interacts with us.
And so those are issues around retail banking and the relationship you have with customers. What about risk management specifically?
Yeah, risk management creates a different challenge, because while we keep all of our customers within a brand holistically, from a risk point of view, we need to be able to understand what our position with the customer is across all of our brands. So that means that we need to be able to not only marshal that information at a customer touch point, we also, from a risk point of view, need to look across our organisation and understand our total exposure and our total business with that customer, even though that isn't how the customer thinks about it.
So that's great. You've looked at the whole spectrum of relationship with the customer as well as the exposure and risk. Is there particular lessons that you've learned in your career as a CIO and how you should approach information management, and some mistakes that maybe our audience can avoid learning from you?
Look, there was one really important lesson, I think, and that is when it comes to customer information management, you have to have a single source of the truth. It's really easy for the people in the business to take cuts of data and take that information away and cut it and dice it and play with it and think that from a competitive point of view they're doing something that's important and useful. But in the end of the day, if there isn't one source of information, one source of the truth around our relationship with the customer within any brand or within the organisation as a whole, then people make mistakes.
And so when I think about that, I think, well, that means a data warehouse, and maybe it's a single application. When you think about the unique identifier of that customer, that seems to be a pretty complex problem to solve.
It is, and unique identifier is really what it comes down to. So unique identifier is critical, and then the most efficient way to store that data is to store it in the least number of places as you possibly can.
That's great. Well, thank you very much for your time, Bob. Until next time, I'm Bruno Aziza.